with great sadness, disappointment, and regret that I want to register my sorrow. I want to register my sadness to the people of Migori and to the people of Uriri, and specifically North Kanyamkago, about the ugly, the bad, and the very unpalatable incidents that were orchestrated, planned, and designed by certain politicians who are playing out of their depth. Yesterday, in my official capacity as the governor of Migori County, I went to attend the funeral ceremony of my staff, the wife of Kaspal Obiero, who is also my staff, who had passed away in a very tragic accident. In that accident, she lost her mother-in-law, and her son was badly injured. Where we were having that ceremony is an institution that is owned and run by the county government. It is Ochilo Vocational Training Center, run and owned by the county government of Migori. The person who was being buried was a staffer of my county, and majority of the bereaved people, including myself, I was one of them. When we got there, we found that the bodyguard of Honorable Mark Nyamita was the one who was blocking the egress or entrance to that place, blocking the entrance of everybody, including the governor, to an institution run and operated by the governor. That particular bodyguard, called Mr. Odoch, had lined up goons, and this is all on a tape, lined up goons who had rungus and were beating everybody, and even attempted to beat up the governor and his entourage. So when we got in, the gentleman and his goons started a fracas that invited the presence of the police, who shot tear gas at us, who were the victims and who were part of the mourners. So I first do not understand why the bodyguard of a member of parliament would be trying to regulate entrance into a funeral, rather than being, the bodyguard of that gentleman. I do not understand why the goons of a member of parliament would be controlling people who come into an institution owned by the county and also owned and run by the government and the governor. And people who do not have regard or respect for protocol, who do not have regard or respect for such things. So when we got there, and it's all on a tape, the priest had concluded the mass. In fact, politicians who had already started speaking, including the area member of county assembly. I hear that there is an allegation that we interfered with the mass. I am a Catholic, my family is Catholic, my parents and grandparents, and I am very familiar with what the mass means and what it takes. I have personally spoken to the priest who was conducting the mass. He's called Father Ben. And Father Ben was very disappointed. I am told that there is a concocted story by the police that my bodyguards were firing bullets anyhow at anything. If they want the truth and they mean to have the truth, there are recordings of the happenings, including the behavior of the police, on camera. There are also people like the priest who can record a statement. That priest is available. He's a truthful person. He is not inclined or aligned to any political faction. You only know that he's aligned to God and the truth. If there is honesty in trying to unravel this very dangerous trend of political thuggery and indecency in public affairs, it is very important to talk to the bereaved family. Kaspal Obiero, because he was standing at the podium, the bereaved family, how they were being held hostage. There is allegation by a member of parliament, or the member of parliament for Uriri, that a child's leg was broken. That's not his child. He wasn't briefed about that. There is allegation by him that we disrupted a service. That's not his service, and it's not his church. These bad manners of politicians who are elected within a certain territory, thinking that it's their territory. Every county politician, the senator, the women rep, and the governor, and also the president, directly represent the electorate in those places. We do not need anybody's permission to go to Uriri or to any county because they voted for us directly. To say that I have studied the behavior of the police and the behavior of law enforcement agencies in Migori County, I think they are part of the problem. If you look on camera at what was going on yesterday, it is the police who are firing tear gas into where the church people were seated. It's the police who were firing tear gas at me and where we were peacefully standing. It is the police, the same police, who after the rowdy characters had fled the place, continued to fire tear gas canisters at us. In fact, there is a person who had a tear gas canister and held it in that camera, and that person ran back into the car of the member of parliament, and another one also ran back into the car of the member of parliament for Suna, Mheshimiwa Masara. So you can see that these are activities that are designed to create mayhem. These are activities that are archaic and barbaric. And I also want to state that very recently, just last week or the week before last, some politician from Suna West went to the market or asked his agents to go to the market under the guise of conducting fundraising. The market is owned and run by county government. The market is owned by the people of Migori. The county government is responsible for putting up, running, and maintaining that facility that is called the market, which is Marindi Market, our largest market in Migori County. And where that function was to be held is the stage, the public stage, where our motorists or our public transport users board their vehicles from. So this gentleman, using his agents, he is a non-agent, insisted that on a market day, during the day, when that facility is supposed to be in use, he would have an arambe there, ostensibly or under the guise that it was the welfare of a section of one of the cooperatives. I sent my officers there to ask them to pick another venue, preferably a primary school which had been closed and not where the public needed their space or to work on. So when I did that, the OCS Suna West and the OCPD Suna West came and disrupted the functions of Migori County government. I went there and found the OCS trying to arrest my officers for doing their work of collecting revenue and maintaining order there. So when I say that the problem is the security agencies, and we know them, that are causing this kind of disruption, I have evidence. There is another politician who has, without permission, without authority, and without any license, has put up a bar in an area where that bar is not supposed to be. The national government is very clear that bars must be regulated and drinking must be regulated. When we as a county invited the police to help us close the bar because we did not want disorder, then we found that the OCS and the OCP Disuna West insisted that they would not do it. So when you saw me last week or the week before last going personally and asking those people to leave, it just means that they are sabotaging and they want the governor to be personally involved in those things. I hear some of them wanted to look for charges and claim that the governor should not go to his market and do his duty. I am the governor of those markets. I am the governor of all borders. I'm also the governor of all the public institutions that we run. If the police would not want to help the county enforce law and order, enforce regulations, then what else are we left to do? We just have to go there ourselves and ask the people to leave. And I think that is what we are doing. So I want to conclude by saying that the law enforcement agencies in Migori County, the security apparatus in Migori County, should not encourage this kind of situation. Then they try and frame people and concoct stories that certain politicians are people who are disorderly. The way to build a nation is to encourage peaceful coexistence, is to encourage constructive engagement, and to allow people of diverse opinion to be able to share a podium, to share a function, and also to speak to their followers or to any other gathering without the police lobbing tear gas and then purporting to investigate what they already are trying to fix. So I want to condemn those shameless politicians who think that politics should be that of violence and that the police are part of their local goons and that they will intimidate anybody. Us, we are not intimidated by anybody. We are only intimidated by the fact that we have to be orderly people. The likely of disorder, the likely of disorderly activities or unlawful activities, and our commitment to obey the law and to run a government in an orderly way is what will bend our knees to. We are not going to allow charlatans and illegal goons to intimidate us, and even police who have been captured by a politician who is full of lies and conmanship.